At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Welcome in to Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, SiriusXM Channel 375, all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck, along with Adam Abdalla, live from downtown Chicago, hanging out with you each and every day until 3 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. And how about this, Abdalla? We start up today's show with news in the NBA. This is going to go on for the next couple of weeks as free agency is about 13, 14 days away in the NBA. We have the NBA draft next week, next Tuesday, the NBA draft. So there's going to be some movement. Trades will be made, and then the players who are free agents will start to make their positioning, their moves, and where they're going to sign. And LeBron James is in the conversation because he is a free agent this summer. And here on the Bleck and Abdalla show, you know that this will not be a quick decision from LeBron James. So we go to LeBron James free agent watch.
Who is he?
LeBron James.
Will he build another super team?
Got to start with Superman. Man, I could have used him on the Cavs.
How many weeks will he stretch this?
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
LeBron Watch 2026 with Bleck and Abdalla.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this form, I'm going to take my talents.
Oh, yes. He will milk it for everything it's worth because no one likes putting himself out there and getting the spotlight like LeBron James.
No, absolutely not. And I think that this is going to go on for a while because what's going to happen here is, yes, like he's going to hear the pitch from the Lakers if they want him back. And then he's going to hear a pitch from, let's say, the Warriors if they want him in their building. He's going to hear a pitch probably from the Cleveland Cavaliers if they want him to return home to Cleveland. And then I'm sure there's going to be some other teams that want the services of a LeBron James, and he's going to take his sweet time. This is not going to be a clock strikes midnight on free agency decision from LeBron James. I wish it would be. I hope it is. I hope for all of our sakes it is. I think that is a fine piece of audio production.
Yes.
That's put together.
Shout out Raj.
Shout out to Raj. That is a great, parts unknown. That is great. But the less we have to hear that and the less we have to talk about LeBron's decision and the less I have to think about that checkered shirt that because that's all I think of every time I think of the LeBron James decision is him dusting it off like an old wedding dress that is in the back of a closet somewhere, and him putting it on to see if it still fits.
Is he keeping Jim Gray in there as well?
Well, yeah, it's in like carbonite.
He's in a little box.
Yeah.
Come on, buddy.
Dusts him off too.
He lets him out of the box. Time to get back to it.
Hey, my contract's up. It's time to make another decision.
Time to make the donuts. Let's go.
And so I do think that he's gonna stretch this out a little bit, but ultimately I think it comes down to like the three places that I named. It's gonna be LA, it's gonna be Golden State, or it's gonna be Cleveland. And I think right now, from the reports that we're hearing, it's zeroed in on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, so here is the latest today. We go to the LeBron James whisperer, Brian Windhorst. He was on ESPN Cleveland. And he said LeBron is working on a deal to go back to the Lakers.
I think LeBron's intention is to play, and I think the focus right now is making a deal with the Lakers. And right now he's allowed to negotiate with the Lakers, and I believe they are negotiating. I believe they're going back and forth. Free agency begins in 14 days, and in the next 14 days, I think he's going to try to make a deal with the Lakers.
So that's Brian Windhorst on ESPN in Cleveland. So, Windhorst has the best sources in regards to anything LeBron James, and he has for his entire career. Mm-hmm. So I believe what Windy is reporting there, that LeBron is actively discussing with the Lakers on a way to go back. Now, if you're Los Angeles and you're sitting here and you're looking at this offseason and you want to shape your team to chase a championship, you could bring LeBron James back. And what he and Luka Doncic were able to do with Austin Reeves for 1 month of last year's NBA season, they were essentially the third best team in the NBA for 1 month. The month of March, they were great. Mm-hmm. And then it all fell apart once Luka got hurt, Reeves got hurt. LeBron was the last man standing. He had to play a different role. He was good. That's not a knock on LeBron, but at this stage of his career, at age 41, having him be the third guy and kind of do all of everything for the team and not have to be the guy that's scoring and always facilitating, it actually was a good spot for LeBron James. It actually makes a lot of sense. And so you could pitch to me that this, basketball-wise, makes sense for both sides. Makes sense for LeBron James, makes sense for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Do you think LeBron could handle that, though? Is my question to you then.
Yeah, thank you, Roy. We'll get to that in a second. The other side of what that is when we look at this conversation, do the Los Angeles Lakers want to deal with the drama of LeBron James moving forward? Because what it is off the court stuff, right? He got Bronny onto the team. Bronny wasn't an NBA player when they selected him in the second round and they were carrying him on the G League squad, but he only played in G League games that were at home because he didn't want to travel with the G League team and all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And then we know from last offseason and the reporting from ESPN, Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst and all the great reporting that they did on the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron being upset at the way that the Lakers kind of looked at Luka as the face of the team. And they are catering to Luka now because he is the face of the franchise for Los Angeles moving forward. So I think there's a lot of layers to this. And I think for basketball's sake, you could tell me how it makes sense. But if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, is this the way you want to go another year of this before you're actually building around Luka for the future?
I don't think so, because I think when you look at what's going on with the West and the way the Lakers stack up in the West, and yeah, like you said, they had a month of great basketball, and then Luka got hurt, and that fell apart. But where do you stack up against the Spurs and the Thunder? Because that's how you have to look at this. If you bring LeBron back, where do you stack up against the Spurs and the Thunder? Where does Minnesota fit into this? Where do the Nuggets fit into this? Where do the Rockets fit into this? Like, where do you stack up? Does bringing back LeBron make you contenders with the Thunder and with the Spurs right now? With Wemby, with another year in the league, with him getting finals experience now, with him getting Western Conference finals experience now, with that whole Spurs team with another year of experience under their belt. I don't think that you can have all of the drama that went on with the Lakers and the non-invitation to the wine dinner and all of that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And then bring him back. Because to me, this play by LeBron to have him come back, and I don't know what the contract looks like. To me, that's a big factor here, because the amount of money that LeBron is going to ask for is part of the play for him in his hierarchy of the Lakers. If he's asking for a bunch of money for a year, then is this a power play by him to say, I'm still the big dog and this is not Luka's team yet? Is he looking for third guy money? Is he looking for, I'm just here?
No, there's no chance.
Exactly.
There's no chance that he's looking for that.
That's the point. The point is wherever LeBron goes, unless it's the Warriors. To me, the Warriors are the one team where it's always going to be Steph Curry's team. It's always going to be Steph's team, no matter who's there. LeBron can go there, and the hierarchy will be Steph, LeBron, right? And then, Butler's there and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. But if you want to go somewhere where it's known that you're not the guy, the Warriors are the one place. If you stick with the Lakers, there's going to be a power struggle between you and Luka, whether it's behind the scenes, whether it's on the court, whatever. There's always going to be that power struggle. And to me, it's in the best interest of the Lakers to rid themselves of that right now.
Yeah, and I think when you look at all of the options that LeBron has, I think basketball-wise, the best fit would be Los Angeles. I think that makes sense from his point of view. I think going back to Cleveland doesn't really make too much sense. I understand that people want to say he could go back home. He did that already. He's not going to live there. Like, what the hell are people talking about? LeBron is not moving back to Akron.
No,
That's not the case. He's going to live in Los Angeles after his playing career is over. So
we can't
there is no going. Like, I don't think that makes any sense.
No, and we can't even play the Diddy song anymore. Coming home, like it's just not.
Oh, all right.
We can't.
Okay.
What? We can't.
I mean, you could if you want.
I'm not playing that anymore.
I'm not. But that's all you if you would like to play that.
I'm just saying the man is. We can't play those songs anymore. So,
I think Cleveland doesn't make a lot of sense. Golden State, I do understand your point, and it has been reported that the Warriors are interested.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if basketball-wise that makes the most sense. I think for them it would be helpful. I don't know if that's really the best fit for LeBron James. You know, Jimmy Butler off of injury, Steph Curry at the end of his career, Draymond podcasting, right? Like, I don't know if that necessarily takes Golden State from where they're at, a team that missed the playoffs, to does that even get them into the top 6?
Timu Charles Barkley.
Like, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
And when you look at the conference, I think you called it correctly. Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets. You know, the Lakers could be better than the Rockets next year, just like they were this season. And the Timberwolves, like all 6 of those teams, based on moves that they can make here in the offseason, could make a case that they could get to the finals next year. I don't think that's crazy. Like, from what we just saw, what just took place in the NBA Finals, a team that wasn't expected to win the championship just won the championship.
Yeah.
Now, I know once the playoffs got going, New Yorkers, don't come after me. Once the playoffs got going, you put together midway through the first round one of the most historic runs we've ever seen in the NBA playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
On way to a championship. You'll have your parade tomorrow. Congratulations.
Shout out.
Poor Elmo. Poor guy.
Can we get him on a float?
I think people at the parade are going to be ripping his head off.
Get him on
and
a
torturing
float.
Elmo.
We need an Elmo redemption tour.
He was a traitor.
Come on, we need an Elmo redemption tour.
He was an absolute traitor.
No, we need an Elmo redemption tour.
My point is, why couldn't the Lakers be that next year?
Well, I can make the same. Why couldn't the Timberwolves be that next year?
Yeah, but for a month of this season, the Lakers were as good as the Knicks or the Spurs or the Thunder.
Because they don't have the bench. They don't have the depth.
Yeah,
they
but for 1 month, they were as good as those teams.
But they don't have the sustainability. They don't have the depth. They don't have the guys that can come in and you can make the adjustments that Mike Brown made. They don't have that. They don't have this guy is struggling, so I'm just going to be able to put in like a Jose Alvarado to put in for like a game, and he's going to play lights out for a night because someone else is struggling, because Bridges is struggling tonight, right?
Come on,
like,
that could be Marcus Smart. You could get a Marcus Smart game in the finals. Come on, why not, Abdalla?
I look at the conference and
what about little Bronny? You're telling me Alvarado. What about Bronny? What if Bronny in the finals is giving you a game?
Like, if I had to pick a team in the Western
Conference, making you and I eat our words that he can't play.
I would love that guy. Could you imagine the
Bronny
You want to talk
final
about
game.
an Elmo redemption tour? What about a Bronny making people eat their words? I look at a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves with like an Anthony Edwards who could be like the Jalen Brunson role and could be like that guy. And why couldn't they be that team?
Oh, okay, but Luka has taken a team to the finals.
I understand
He's
that.
already there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but they don't have. They're too top heavy.
Well, I would say this: if you're a Lakers fan and you're listening to the show, 310-840-4910, you can call or text us. I would concern myself in trying to keep Austin Reeves over re-signing LeBron James. Now, the New York Times reported earlier in the week that multiple front office sources around the league think that the Brooklyn Nets will offer Austin Reeves a 4-year, $178 million contract. So, I mean, there are going to be teams out there going after Austin Reeves as a max player. And so the Lakers, if you are on one side saying, like, we're talking to LeBron wants a max deal, you got to also concern yourself with the fact that Austin Reeves might leave in this offseason. If he leaves in this offseason, if you just have LeBron and Luka, is that good enough? I don't think it is.
How much
I would
money was
rather,
that?
if I were the Lakers, I would rather build with Luka and Reeves and then use the money that you would have had LeBron on to fill in the depth pieces that you're talking about.
How much money was that for Reeves for the Nets?
178 for 4 years.
Not enough to go play in Brooklyn.
Well, no, but the Nets aren't going to be the only team going after him.
No, I know that. I'd rather stay in LA for less money.
Yeah, okay, sure. That's not the point. The point is, if you're building your team, if you're the Lakers, wouldn't you prefer to build for the future instead of?
Yeah, that goes back to how we started this. It's time to move on. It's that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like look, LeBron is great. But if you take the name off, take the name off the back of the jersey. Just look at the numbers. Oh, yeah. Look at the production.
He can still play.
Okay. But
he's great.
But do you need but with the drama that comes with the player, is it worth it? Is it worth all of that? Is it worth the tension behind the scenes? Is it worth the stories that you know we're going to get? The in-depth piece that we're going to get from a Ramona Shelburne halfway through the season? Is that we're going to get from a Windhorse 3/4 of the way through the season? There's going to be an all-star break piece. It's going to be a mile long on ESPN.com.
I mean, they got along in the season this year.
Yeah, and then we get a piece about a wine dinner that LeBron wasn't invited to because they had their location services. They're sharing their location services.
I will say
and he's like, why wasn't I invited?
The best story was the story that we talked about a couple weeks ago, where he was mad that a game ball was given to JJ Redick.
Yeah,
and not for him breaking the most games played or whatever, some stupid stat that he has, because he has all of them because he's played forever. And LeBron stands. Stop quoting to people the different records he has. Nobody cares. No one cares at all. The dude has played more games than anyone else. We get it.
All it
Counting
took was
stats.
17 minutes for this to
enough
turn
with
into an
this.
anti-LeBron rant.
Come on. All these
17 minutes, 12,
LeBron
17
lovers.
p.m. Eastern. You got
Slurping
that, Raj?
the LeBron love. I mean, what are we doing?
If you had under
Usually
12,
this is unbelievable.
18
This is
p.m.
Abdalla doing
Eastern,
this, though.
those
I mean,
tickets
it's
have
just-
cashed.
No one cares.
This is usually
Jordan played like
Abdalla's role,
13
though.
seasons.
There it is, Jordan at
Jordan
12,
played 13 seasons.
12, 18
There we go.
Eastern. If you had under 12, 19 Eastern, those tickets have cash. Please
Just saying,
cash
no one
those
cares.
tickets.
All the counting stats. All right, that's your LeBron
But who
James
had
free agent
Bleck
watch.
doing
Yep.
it? It was Abdalla.
There
That's
it
your
is.
role. That's your role.
Who is he? Will he build another super team?
Gotta start with Superman. Man, I could have used him on the Cavs.
How many weeks will he stretch this?
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
LeBron Watch 2026 with Bleck and Abdalla.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to...
I'm just saying, congratulations.
As a long-suffering Lakers fan,
All right,
All right, Roy,
All
that's
right,
it.
Roy.
Roy, no
Long-suffering
more.
Lakers
That's
fan.
it. Hang up on yourself.
I really believe that if the Lakers
no,
fumble,
no,
hold on,
You
hold on.
You can't start the convo with long-suffering Lakers.
Okay,
fans.
okay,
You don't
okay.
get
I'll
it
take
off.
that. I'll take that off.
No.
I'll take that off. But if the Lakers botch Austin Reeves, then I feel like there's gonna be some consequences, like for the Lakers organization, because they've messed up with Alex Caruso too, and I think
Are they going to put a hit on Bronny?
Oh no!
Are they taking out Bronny? Wait, what's happening? Wait,
I
what
feel
are
like
the
I feel like
consequences?
something's gonna happen. I'd much
All
rather
right,
prefer to
yes.
rebuild with Austin Reeves
Yes,
and Luka.
yes.
I feel like that's the way they have to go. Like LeBron, thank you for your service, but you are no longer needed.
There you go. There's Roy, long-suffering
From a
Laker
long-suffering
fan.
Lakers fan.
Yes. Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Where will Brendan Sorsby land in the NFL supplemental draft? We will tell you coming up next. International soccer is taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings had you fully covered.
The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matches you love all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code BNA26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Patrick Mahomes is the NFL's first $500 million man. The future Hall of Famer has a new deal with the Chiefs worth over $500 million. Coming off major knee surgery, will the three-time Super Bowl champ still have the Mahomes magic to live up to the contract? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
We talked about it the last couple days that Brendan Sorsby will be entering the NFL supplemental draft. It will take place, and teams will have a chance to bid on Sorsby. And what they can do is they can use a pick coming up in the next draft, the 2027 draft, to bid on Sorsby. So whether it be a first-round pick, second, third, fourth, whatever you want, if you're an NFL team, you can place a bid and you have a chance to land the quarterback who is not going to play college football in this upcoming season for Texas Tech. He's heading to the NFL. So, Abdallah, let's do this. Raj, he is going to run a Bleck and Abdalla NFL supplemental draft here on the show. You and I will pick for the teams, and Raj will take us through it. So this is what we're going to do here. The supplemental draft, we will tell you where Brendan Sorsby will land.
Okay.
Raj,
all right.
What do you think?
All right, fellas, Raj Goodell here as we get ready to do our supplemental draft here over email. All right, so here we go. For the purposes of the exercise here, Abdalla, you are going to represent teams from the AFC, and Bleck, you're going to represent teams from the NFC. Okay? All right, so that's how we're going to do this. For those new to the supplemental draft, it doesn't work exactly like the NFL draft does. All right, so here's how this works. There's 3 groups, all right? Group 1 are teams with 6 or fewer wins the previous season. Group 2 are going to be the remaining teams that did not make the playoffs. And Group 3 will be the playoff teams, okay? And even if he gets picked earlier, we'll keep going just so we can have some fun with the exercise. All right, so we're going to start off with Group 1. These are the teams that had 6 or fewer wins last season. 6 or fewer wins. Bleck, you are representing the Saints, the Commanders, your John Harbaugh-led New York Giants, and the Arizona Cardinals. Abdalla, you've got the Bengals, the Chiefs, Todd Monken's Cleveland Browns, you've got the Raiders, you've got the Jets, and you've got the team that you thought was the greatest opening in the history of the National Football League, the Tennessee Titans. So here we go. I'm going to start off with you, Abdalla. For any of those AFC teams, do you choose to forfeit your first-round pick next year to take Brendan Sorsby right now?
Absolutely not.
All right, Bleck,
All right,
you have.
Good answer.
No.
Good answer.
Well, look, the Bengals have a quarterback. Chiefs have a quarterback. Browns have 5 quarterbacks. Raiders just drafted a quarterback.
Yes.
Jets, I'm not wasting a first-round pick on, and the Titans have Cam Ward. So no thank you. No thank you.
All right, Bleck, you have the New Orleans Saints, the Washington Commanders, the New York Giants, the Arizona Cardinals. On behalf of any of those teams, do you choose to forfeit your first-round pick next season to get Brendan Sorsby?
All right, so of those teams, I think the Saints have their quarterback, so I'm not using a first-rounder. Commanders, we know, have their quarterback. The Giants believe in their guy, Jackson Dart, right? Like, they think that
What's
that's...
What's up?
That's
What's up?
That's the key there. The Cardinals are interesting, but I believe the Cardinals will be bad enough that they think they will be able to use a first-round pick on a different quarterback next year in the draft. So as far as the Saints, Commanders, Giants, and Cardinals go, I will not be using a first-round pick for any of those teams.
All right, guys, we're still in the first round. Now we move to Group 2. These are the remaining non-playoff teams. All right, so Bleck, you have the Minnesota Vikings, the Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons, and the Dallas Cowboys. Abdalla, you've got the Indianapolis Colts, your adopted AFC team, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Miami Dolphins. All right, so we're going to start off with you, Bleck. Do you choose to forfeit your first-round pick on behalf of any of those NFC teams next year to get Brendan Sorsby right now?
I'm going to say no. I think we know the Vikings have a quarterback situation taking place. They're not going to use a first-rounder on a quarterback, even if it doesn't work out with Kyler Murray. Lions, no. Buccaneers, no. Falcons are interesting because they might be good enough to place themselves outside of the top 10 next year, which would mean they're not going to get one of the top two guys, who are both guys that we would all agree are better than Sorsby today. The Falcons are interesting. I'm not going to do it for a first rounder. I'm going to think I can get this done with a different round pick, and the Cowboys, no. So I'm going to say no for all of the teams.
All right, Abdalla, for your 3 AFC teams, the Colts, the Ravens, or the Dolphins, are you going to surrender your first-round pick next year to add Brendan Sorsby right now?
I'm still going to say no, mostly because we're in the first round. I'm not giving Brendan Sorsby a first-round contract and giving up a first-round pick next year because the Dolphins just gave Malik Willis a bunch of money for this year and next year. They overpaid him. The Colts gave Daniel Jones a bunch of money, which they probably shouldn't have, but they did. They hamstrung themselves, and they did. And the Ravens have Lamar Jackson. And they're going to try to work out some form of contract negotiation with him, and why wouldn't you? He has won multiple MVPs. So, no, I'm not going to use any of my picks from those teams, so I will pass.
All right, we are now on to Group 3. These are the playoff teams. So, Bleck, you've got the world champion Seahawks, you got the Rams, you got the 49ers, you have your own Chicago Bears, you got the Eagles, and you got the Packers. Abdalla, you've got the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Texans, the Bills, the Chargers, and the Steelers. So I'm going to start off with Bleck. On behalf of any of those NFC teams you have, are you willing to give up your first-round pick next year to get Brendan Sorsby right now?
No, I'm going to say no, because even if you want to be wacky, like the Rams like to be, and pick players that are not ready to play and stash them, I'm not going to go with the Rams in that situation. But Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, Bears, Eagles, Packers, and Panthers.
Fly, Eagles, fly?
No, I'm first-round pick.
I thought he might think about the Eagles. Yeah.
No. I'm going to go no on the first-round pick for all the playoff teams from last season.
All right, Abdalla, for your AFC teams that you're repping, again, that's Broncos, Patriots, Jags, Texans, Bills, Chargers, Steelers. Are you surrendering next year's first-round pick to get Brendan Sorsby right now?
The only team that I would consider it for would be the Steelers. The Steelers are going to be in a position where they could be quarterbackless going into next year's draft. But looking at the mock drafts heading into next season, there are about 5 to 6 quarterbacks that are going to be selected in the first round of next year. So even if they are an 8 or 9 win team, they don't need to use a first round pick or give up their first round pick for Sorsby right now. So obviously the Broncos are a no, the Patriots are a no, the Jaguars are a no, the Bills are a no, the Chargers are a no. Texans are interesting. Texans are in a position where CJ Stroud is in a very much prove-it year. He continues to backslide with his play. He turned the ball over a bunch in the playoffs. His offensive line was doing him absolutely no favors the last few years. They've given up the most pressures the last few years to any offensive line, even more so than the Bengals. So those two teams are interesting, but because we're still in the first round, I'm going to pass.
All right, so we made it through the first round. So now here's what we're going to do out of expediency, guys, now that everybody knows how the system works. I now want you guys, knowing the teams that you're at, to tell me if you're going to put in a second-round bid for any of your teams. So, Abdalla, for any of the teams you're repping, are you putting in a second-round bid on Brendan Sorsby?
It's risky, but no, I'm not going to.
Wow.
Black,
Okay.
are you going to put in
Yeah, so-
any bids on the second round for any of your NFC teams you're representing?
Yeah, so I'm gonna put a bid in for Arizona. I'm
Okay.
gonna put a bid in for Atlanta, and I'm gonna put a bid in for Philadelphia.
Ooh.
So Eagles, Cardinals, Falcons, all second round bids for Sorsby.
He's yours.
All right. So the way this system works, as I mentioned, there are the three groups. So you said it was the Eagles. You were putting in a bid for the Cardinals. What was the third team, Black?
Falcons.
Falcons. Okay. Eagles and Falcons are out. So that means he's going to the Arizona Cardinals because that would be the from Group 1. And we don't really even need to know the random order because they're the only Group 1. So he would be an Arizona Cardinal, and that would mean that Jacoby Brissett and crew. And for a team that might be marching for Arch, that could be like the number one pick in the second round that you're giving. Abdalla's shaking his head over there.
To me, that's a horrible move for them. That's a horrible move.
I
It's
agree,
a
but
horrible move.
I think
Horrible
they may put a second round bid on a player that they could see potential in.
I don't ever see them do. I don't see a team giving second round. That's why I didn't do it, because I don't think any of these teams think that they can. I think all of these teams think that they can get a comparable quarterback if they have to in the first round of next year.
So Abdalla, just so we
the
know,
Steelers could draft a quarterback in the first round if they have to of next year.
Abdalla, what was
like,
going to be the highest bid that you were going to put in for an AFC team for Sorsby? So we know.
Third round.
You were going to go. Which team was it going to be?
It would have been the Steelers in the third round.
Okay, so you were going to bid a third rounder for the Steelers, but he goes in the second round to the Arizona Cardinals. Check your sportsbook betting apps in the greater Arizona area because Brendan Sorsby's heading to the desert to compete with the holding out Jacoby Brissett as well as Carson Beck. Thank you, fellas.
I have two teams for third round bids. I have Minnesota and Carolina putting third round bids on.
Mm-hmm.
For fourth round bids, Raj, I have Tampa Bay and San Francisco.
Ooh.
And I have Detroit putting a fifth round bid on Sorsby.
The disgust on Abdalla's face is palpable here as he is shaking his head. You would not be giving up these picks, would you, Abdalla?
No, I just think that, well, first of all, he doesn't even get there. So I think that.
Yeah, but I think, of course, it wouldn't end with the. I think it's all blind. So the teams put in their bids. So you would have the bids.
I know.
It's all done through email.
I know.
And you would put in your bid. So I'm just giving you what I would bid if I were the teams.
This is like
Detroit, I would be willing to part with a fifth rounder. Tampa Bay and San Francisco, a fourth rounder. Minnesota, Carolina, a third. And then the second round teams, I would say Arizona, Atlanta, Philly, and Arizona would be the team that would win them.
This is like my uncle's fantasy football league. Like they're going through email, doing these picks. The draft takes 10 years.
Yeah, man.
I just think that giving the Cardinals doing this, the Cardinals have picked a lane this season by not negotiating with Jacoby Brissett right now, by drafting Carson Beck where they did. They've decided that Arch Manning or Dante Moore or whoever emerges, like if a Joe Burrow-like run for another quarterback emerges, they're picking number 1 or number 2. And Sorsby has not been that or proven that he can do that. I don't think that they're going to, I could be wrong, but a second rounder for that, if you're picking a second rounder, that guy's got to come in day one and be an impact player. And I just don't know if you're going to do that.
Could they flip him to Bleck? QBs are currency. Could you take him now and then let's just say you have the worst record in the league and get Manning, and now you have this young, intriguing quarterback. Could you flip him next year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, people say that, and then you turn into what did Trey Lance end up going for?
They got nothing. I think when they dumped him. Yeah.
Exactly. People say, oh, quarterbacks are commodities, and then they get traded for fifth-round picks. Okay, so you turned a second-round pick into a fifth-round pick. Congratulations. So I don't know. It's just way too risky for me.
I think Abdalla just doesn't like this exercise, Raj.
He doesn't like the supplemental
I like the
draft.
I just don't think the supplemental draft is what people think it is, that automatically Brendan Sorsby is going to be a first or second round pick. I could be wrong. Whenever this ends up happening.
You were the one telling me yesterday that he's the third highest quarterback on the board.
In a real draft.
Yeah.
But then he went out and made $90,000 worth of bets against his own team.
No doubt. But, I guess the thing you have to consider is that if you put the right bid in, you just get the player. You don't have to worry about the draft board falling your way. You get him in your system. You can develop him. I think teams will put bids in on Sorsby.
I get that. But then you also have to be a team, to me, like the Rams, where you're drafting a player and your team is absolutely set for the future and you're not going to play a guy for a year or two and you know exactly what you're getting.
Bonus question. Does
risky.
Brendan Sorsby bet on where Brendan Sorsby is going to go in the supplemental draft? Because you know that will be available once it's on.
And hopefully he uses promo code BNA26 on DraftKings.
Shout out.
Thank you, fellas. That does it for the Bleck Abdalla supplemental draft.
Thank you, Raj.
See you next
That was
year.
great.
Maybe.
Yeah,
we don't know. We
we'll
don't do
see.
one every year.
Yeah, if someone's eligible
Well,
for it.
he got away with it.
Yeah. Bleck Abdalla is sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Is Bo Nix concerned over his mobility after ankle surgery? We'll find out coming up next.
We're a month away from NFL training camps opening. The return of Patrick Mahomes, QB battles in Cleveland, Minnesota, and Atlanta. Myles Garrett joining Matthew Stafford in LA. Get ready for football season with Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Mini camps going on around the National Football League, and if we go out to Denver, Colorado, that's where the Broncos are working out as they get set for the upcoming season. And Bo Nix mentioned that the second surgery that he had, remember he had a cleanup surgery after the ankle surgery. He told the media that the second surgery was for bone spurs, but he's feeling good. Take a listen to Bo Nix talking to the media, and when he was asked about his concern for his mobility going forward.
Well, my concern is they say it's, back healthy as good as new, and I hadn't really been like that in a couple of years. So my concern is maybe move around a little bit better.
So there you go. Bo Nix might be better after the cleanup of the bone spurs and the ankle surgery here in the offseason for the Denver Broncos. Somewhere in parts unknown, Colorado, Raj Sharon is smiling from ear to ear.
Woo! What is
Floating
he,
on
the
air.
bionic man? Is he getting?
They put him back together.
They put
He's
him back
better now.
together, and now he's made out of titanium or something. I mean, yeah. Look, I think that there was some confusion between Sean Payton and Bo Nix at the end of the season about surgeries and something that was an inevitability or not between Bo Nix and his ankle breaking and whether or not he had strong bones or not with Sean Payton. And hopefully for Broncos fans' sake and for Raj's sake, since he is a Broncos fan, that they've worked those things out, because when you add a wide receiver like Jalen Waddle, you expect this offense to explode. Like, you expect this offense to do great things, and they had a great defense. They had the best offensive line in the NFL. They're all coming back. They're all healthy. So this offense and this defense, I think that they're the best team in that division.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs are going to continue to not be as good as they have been in the past. Like, obviously, they weren't great last year. Patrick Mahomes was injured for a short period of time of that season last year, and he's going to be back, but their weapons just aren't what they're used to. And so I think that the Broncos are the team to beat in that division, and this offense taking a next step, and Bo Nix being with Sean Payton for another year, a whole other offseason, him coming back healthy, all of that, adding Jalen Waddle, this team should be a contender in the AFC and for an AFC championship for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's good to hear that he thinks his mobility is better than it was the last couple of seasons. That's great. Bo Nix can use his legs. Take care of himself, but he can run a little, and that helps. I know in the AFC Championship game when he was injured, or in the playoff game before he was injured, he ran the ball a lot.
Yeah.
They can't rely on that. Now, he led the league in passing attempts last season, So, I mean, Bo Nix is a very important piece to this Broncos offense. And I agree. I think that they're the best team in the division, and they're one of the best teams in the AFC. Absolutely. So it's good to hear from Bo Nix that he's feeling good and that he thinks his mobility is the best that he's had in the last couple of seasons. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. How about the World Cup yesterday? I mean, the Stars showed out yesterday.
Man.
You had Messi, 3 goals, hat trick for Argentina. You had Kylian Mbappe with 2 goals for France.
Mm-hmm.
And they woke up in the second half, and they won big. Erling Haaland, he was great, 2 goals as well for Norway. First time in the World Cup. So Haaland, Messi, Mbappe, all with great performances. And I think some probably recognize those names because they're probably 3 of the 4 most famous players in world soccer right now.
Yeah, like obviously.
And the 4th is playing today, and that's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo and Messi are the 2 by far historic, but recent history as the 2 most prolific names in soccer. And Kylian Mbappe is one of the most recent best players. Erling Haaland is one of the also youngest or younger and best. And then he, plays for Manchester City in the EPL. Mbappe plays for Real Madrid now, so he's playing well. So he's, they've got good players, and the Stars are playing well in this World Cup, which is good. So when you have all 3 stars on one day playing really well, I think that's what you expect. And you've got Ronaldo playing today, like you said. The problem is Ronaldo plays in Saudi Arabia now, so no one sees his games anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, and they talked about in the game, I'm sure a lot of people caught the game, Argentina and Algeria yesterday, but Messi is playing in his 6th World Cup, which is a record. Cristiano Ronaldo will tie that today when he plays, and he's in the starting lineup this afternoon for Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
He will then play in his 6th World Cup as well. And essentially, I mean, they are the 2 titans of greatest of all time conversations. It's Cristiano Ronaldo and it's Messi. I think most people would say that Messi is the best player they've ever seen. Cristiano Ronaldo is a straight striker and a goal scoring player who needs service, where Messi creates it for himself. And I think that's why more people would lean towards Messi, but it is really a conversation. These are 2 of the greatest soccer players we've ever seen, now both playing in their 6th World Cup, which adds to the appeal because it's a familiar face. You mentioned Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe has been playing in the World Cup. This is like his 3rd or 4th World Cup.
I know.
It's not like it's its first go around.
No.
Like Haaland is. And it's pretty cool to see the Stars show up. And then also, the U.S. men's national team will play on Friday against Australia in their 2nd game. So
yeah, that should be a good one because the ratings for the first game for the U.S. men's national team, almost 24 million people.
It's 27, actually.
27
million people watched the U.S. beat Paraguay. So, I mean, when you look at the attention to the actual game, that's more people watching this U.S. men's national team soccer game than any game of the NBA Finals that we just saw, any game in the World Series. So, it is a big deal, and it's good to see them win. And we'll see how far they can go in this tournament. But clearly, yesterday's action was cool because all of the stars showed up and they played well.
And it's good to not have 4 draws in a row. Yesterday, you got a lot of goals from the Stars. That's what this World Cup wants, and we'll see if Ronaldo can keep pace. That's always been the thing for these 2, for Messi and Ronaldo in World Cups, is one plays, the next day the other plays. Can they keep up? We'll see if Ronaldo can keep up with Messi today.
We've been talking about the NBA in the offseason, whether or not the Milwaukee Bucks will move Giannis Antetokounmpo before the draft. We're talking about a couple teams, Boston, Miami, interest in Giannis. Could we have a mystery team try and trade for Giannis? We'll tell you about that coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck, along with Adam Abdalla, hanging out with you live from downtown Chicago until 3 Eastern. If you want to join the show, you can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. And we've been talking about the NBA and the NBA offseason. Milwaukee wants to move Giannis Antetokounmpo before the NBA draft. The draft is next Tuesday night. Their owner has come out and said that they want a resolution to this, the Giannis situation, before the NBA draft, so then they know what they're doing, right? Ideally for them, they would get draft capital back, and they could use those picks in this year's draft to then build a team of young players and try and grow that way, right? Like that seems to be the key now. Is it used to be super teams. Now teams see and saw what Oklahoma City did when they traded away Paul George and they got back picks, and then they were able to grow through the draft and then become the team that won the championship last year. They got to the conference finals this year. They have a 2-time MVP. That's the way teams want to build now. So I understand from a Milwaukee Bucks perspective, you know, it might be tough to lose Giannis, but ideally, the best avenue to get back to that point may be tearing it down and then building up through the draft. The key is you have to be bad enough or get good draft capital back to get good players back in return in the NBA draft. So we know that that's the setting. We had a story yesterday. I believe it was Mark Stein and Jake Fisher pointing to, and then also Windhorst pointing to. Multiple people in the NBA pointing to the fact that for Giannis, it's Miami that is interested. I think Windhorst specifically on ESPN.com yesterday had that Milwaukee is waiting out Miami because they think they can get better deals from other teams than what the Miami Heat can offer at this moment. And then also Boston is a team that Giannis would sign an extension with. So Miami, and we know that Boston, both are fair options, right? Like I get it from Giannis's perspective. He could immediately be on championship quality teams. You know, Miami's not quite there, but they're a playoff team and they were in the play-in. They have a chance, and they've always been a franchise that finds a way to be successful. And Boston is in their championship window. They won a couple of years ago. They've got 2 stars. I'm guessing one of them would have to go if Giannis was moved to Boston. I'm guessing that player would be Jaylen Brown. That's probably the way you would go. And if you had Jason Tatum and Giannis Antetokounmpo, that's a pretty good duo that you could kind of build with. So that's what we know. Kevin O'Connor on social media yesterday put this out there. This is from Twitter. There's so much talk about Boston or Miami for Giannis, but Kawhi Leonard got sent to Toronto, Paul George to Oklahoma City, Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland. Surprise teams do trade for stars even without knowing if they'll sign long term. Could there be a Giannis mystery team? Some of the options listed: Minnesota, Orlando, Portland, somewhere else.
Ooh, somewhere else.
Somewhere mystery, somewhere else.
Somewhere else, USA.
Else. So what do you think of that? Do you think it is going to be the conversation of Giannis will only sign with Boston or Miami and it's what he wants? Or do you think NBA teams will look at the recent past and, like what Kevin O'Connor is pointing out, that NBA teams make trades for players with no guarantee that they're going to be there long term because they are trying to win in the moment? Could a team mortgage the future, go after Giannis? And I think the team that is very obvious, and it's a team that we just listed on the list, would be Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota would make the most sense for that 1-year rental. Maybe, look, a 1-year rental could turn into an extension. A 1-year rental.
Certainly could, yes.
A 1-year rental, you go deep into the playoffs. Giannis falls in love with Minnesota. He really likes playing with Anthony Edwards. He enjoys being there, whatever.
I thought you were going to say, if he likes Milwaukee, he'll like Minneapolis.
I mean, I was just about to say, they're both cold. You know, like it's not what you listen, man. You go to Miami and you're like, well, this
different.
It's different. You go to LA. It's different. You know,
just using the eyeball test. I think walking around Miami, it could not be more different than downtown Milwaukee.
Exactly.
I don't think downtown Milwaukee is as plastic as downtown Miami is.
No.
I don't think there's that much to see as far as that.
No. The
the
scenery,
plastic quality of South Beach, I think, is a little different than Milwaukee.
Yeah, absolutely. But Minnesota's got the same, type of vibe.
Oh,
hey,
do they?
Hey there. So I feel like if your hope is, if you're the Timberwolves,
hey there,
is that you get him for a year, you win, you pull off what the Raptors did with Kawhi, and you win a title.
Sure.
And then if he moves on, he moves on. You got your title. Mission accomplished, right? But if not, he enjoys being with the boys, right? Like he enjoys hanging out he enjoys playing there because Giannis is weird, right? Like Giannis.
Whoa, no, Giannis is weird.
But you know what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're saying. What do you mean Giannis is weird?
Giannis is he's a different cat. Like
what?
This is the guy that after he won, he went and got a bunch of nuggets or something like that, and
Chick-fil-A nuggets.
Chick-fil-A,
yeah.
like that's what I mean. Like he's not your average superstar. Like he might actually enjoy. He might he's this guy that's saying, "Whoa, like this is not coming from my team," and like he's a different superstar is what I mean. Like I don't mean like he's weird. Like you know what I mean.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah, but every time I say weird, I mean it in an endearing way. Like I don't ever say weird as in like this guy's a weirdo. Like I'm saying he's a different type of superstar. You could convince me of the point that Giannis would go to Minnesota, would enjoy playing in the West with Anthony Edwards, would enjoy being in Minnesota, would enjoy the camaraderie of playing with another superstar, and would find that intriguing, and they could spend a year convincing him to sign an extension there. That could happen. Portland? No.
Yeah, well, the Portland thing to me.
Also, they don't want to spend any money right now.
That's it. Their new ownership, they're very cheap.
Exactly.
So pulling off a move where you're moving assets to go after a top-level player, I just don't see that happening with Portland. I think you could argue that Portland is on the same level of city as Milwaukee. So if you wanted to say
keep Portland weird,
he stays in that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like Miami is different. Boston different. New York City different.
Yeah.
Right? But like Portland, Milwaukee, he would be a big fish in a smaller pond.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Miami, Giannis is not the most famous person that lives in Miami.
No.
If he goes down there, right?
No.
Every famous person has, their mega yachts down there. There's all that stuff, right?
But also, if he goes to Minnesota, it's Anthony Edwards' team.
Sure.
Like we just spent last hour talking about what's LeBron's decision going to be. And if he goes to Golden State, it's not LeBron's team. It's Steph's team. If he stays in LA, there's a power struggle. Is it LeBron's team? Is it Luka's team? If he goes to, Minnesota, Giannis is now there's not a power struggle. It's Anthony Edwards' team. Like he's been there. It's established. He's Minnesota's guy. It's Anthony Edwards' team. Giannis is the second guy there. He's second in command there.
Yeah.
If he goes to Orlando now, as listed as one of those teams,
okay,
he's the guy in Orlando.
Now you're talking. Orlando's interesting.
He's the guy in Orlando. Orlando's not Milwaukee. It's not Minnesota. Maybe he turns into a Disney adult. You could convince him that he's
You want to say that Giannis is weird. I feel like that fits.
I'm not saying.
I
Listen,
feel like Giannis, the Disney adult, that makes sense.
He might be. He might like Disney.
You called him weird.
I didn't say. I said.
For the record.
No,
I said he's weird.
I did not
quote.
I did not. I said that he's different. I said that he enjoys going and gets nuggets after he wins championships. I said that he likes being on Instagram, and you're the one that said he would be going to Disney and being the Disney adult.
Well, yeah. I connected the dots of you calling him weird.
That's not what I said.
did.
That's
yes.
not what I said.
I absolutely connected those dots.
And so him
Yes.
going to Orlando and enjoying, the finer things that Orlando has to offer, he would also be the guy in Orlando.
Epcot.
Yeah. What's wrong? He could drink his way around Epcot like people like to do and post that on social media.
I think
I just stick out like a sore thumb.
I just want to make
Disney.
sure that everyone understands here on Westwood One Sports. You can call the show. You can text us at 310-840-4910. Abdalla called Giannis weird today.
That's not what I said.
Let's just get that established.
I said
Let's
he's
get that, Raj.
I said
Let's
he's
get that
weird.
in a promo.
I said he's
Let's make
weird
sure
in
that,
an endearing way. In an endearing way that after he wins a championship, this dude isn't going out like everybody else that wins a championship. What's the first thing that team does? They go out to the club, they celebrate. This dude is
hammered.
This dude is getting in line at Chick-fil-A and getting 1,000 nuggets.
Did you see OG Anunoby on TV the last couple days?
Yeah.
The dude was on a different planet.
Did you see what did J.R. Smith do the second he won a championship?
Oh,
shirt off.
Nuts.
He's still not wearing a shirt.
Well, that's what we didn't get to it on Monday, but Carolina won the Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Stanley Cup on Sunday night.
Yeah.
They won the Stanley Cup in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
The topic is that's the absolute best place in the world to win a championship, right?
Absolutely.
Like you go from the rink right into the club.
It's basically
and you're there the
or
entire,
Miami.
Yeah, or Miami, but like Vegas.
Yeah.
With and being professional athletes with all the cash that comes with it and being able to.
Unless you beat Vegas. Like that might be.
No, I think you still tear it up.
I think I don't think the club people don't care.
Exactly.
Like who you beat. Yeah.
I mean, most people that are on the strip, in the casinos, in the hotels, in the clubs, they're people who are traveling to Las Vegas. They're not people that live in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
The people that live in Las Vegas aren't going out to the club every night.
Absolutely. Like, what did Jose Alvarado do? Jose Alvarado's at a Puerto Rican Day parade float.
That's cool.
Drinking, having a time.
It's great.
Celebrating. What does Giannis do? Drive-through nuggets.
I just want to make sure that Jim Rome is aware.
Don't twist my words.
Just
clones.
make sure Rome is
Don't
alerted
twist
that
my
Abdalla
words.
called Giannis a weird guy
I think that
and a Disney adult.
You did that. Nope.
Yes, I did.
I do not put those words in my mouth, and I think Rome would agree with me.
I think it's great. Get him the ears. Have him walk around. Wait, what do they do? They do the little. They've got the badges. There's that thing. They've got the little pins.
You know what he would do? He would put on the full Chewbacca costume and walk around to see if people could figure out if it was Giannis.
With the head on?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. He would just walk up and start talking to people and see if they could
people
figure
go,
out.
he's too tall.
Yeah.
I know Chewbacca is not that size.
You guys know they literally made a movie about Giannis's life, and it was made by Disney.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, all the kidding aside of Abdalla calling Giannis weird.
Endearing.
The story of Giannis's life is pretty remarkable.
Is a Disney movie.
It is. But before it was a Disney movie, was incredible.
Yes, it is.
The kid was sleeping on like a bed in a gym in Greece.
Yeah.
And he becomes an MVP and an NBA champion.
Mm-hmm.
Brings the family with him. Like it's a great story.
It is a great story.
You called him weird.
I did not. I called him weird you say it in a derogatory fashion.
No. But I'm just establishing the quote.
You say it in a derogatory fashion. You also say Disney adult in a derogatory fashion.
He does.
I say it as someone.
There's disdain in the voice.
Right?
Well,
I say it as someone who. I say it as someone who
1000%.
enjoys Disney. What's wrong with that?
1000%. I will agree with that.
What's wrong with enjoying Disney?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Go ahead. I mean, if you're taking your kids, go for it. Yeah.
Does Giannis have kids? I don't know. I don't know if he's a parent.
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with you calling him weird.
Parent, I think.
Well, there you go.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. So we're covering that story. Could there be a mystery team for Giannis Antetokounmpo? We're also paying attention to the World Cup. And throughout the show, Abdalla here on the show has brought us a segment called the World Cup of Soup.
No soup for you.
Bleck and Abdalla's World Cup of Soup.
Soup is good food.
So we will have the soup review a little bit later here on the show. Abdalla picks a country from each group in the group stage of the World Cup. He conducts a taste test right here on the radio show, live on the air. And then when the World Cup gets to the brackets, the knockout stage, he will throw all the soups into a World Cup of Soup bracket. And to figure out who the World Cup of Soup champion is this time around as we continue to watch the World Cup here on Bleck and Abdalla. With that said, we got an email yesterday.
We got an email. We get email?
Which I was unaware that we have an email address.
We get email?
At Westwood One Sports.
Okay.
I did not know that this was something that was active.
That's awesome.
Did not know that we had an email.
We get email.
We got an email from Susan. Here's Susan and her email. I only listen in the car, so yesterday was the first time I heard the World Cup of Soup. I loved it.
Oh.
Could you please post all of the soups and countries and their ratings from the beginning and continue until it's done? Thanks. Susan.
Shout out Susan.
Shout out Susan. Yes.
Appreciate you, Susan.
So there you go. We got an email from Susan.
I will. I'm taking pictures and documenting all the soups. Once we get into the...
Where can we find this content?
Once we get to the brackets, that's when I'll post the matchups and the pictures so we know who's going against who.
You got a website going?
Yeah, at Adam A. Abdalla on Twitter.
Oh, you
think I got like a worldcupofsoup.com or something like that?
I think Susan was looking for something that she could go to and look at all the
at Adam A. Abdalla on Twitter.
Jeez,
why? You think I got like a World Cup of Soup website? What do you think? Website money?
I don't know. I was just asking.
You think I got like a website degree over here or something?
A website degree?
What do you think I'm Spider-Man, like a webmaster over here? What do you think I am?
I was just wondering where we could find all the soup reviews.
I got GoDaddy money over here. What is this?
I didn't know that you would be offended that I would ask what you're doing with this. I'm just glad that you're documenting your soups.
Yeah, I'm taking pictures and I'll post them when we get to the matchups.
All right.
I'll post the soups that are going head to head.
Susan was concerned.
Yeah, Susan,
she
you'll get all
emailed the email at Westwood One
You'll
Sports,
get all the
which
soups
I didn't
and all
even
the
know
ratings.
that we had.
I didn't know we did either.
Shout out to Ryan McGuire for passing along the email.
Yeah.
We love it. That's great. Shout out Susan. Thank you, Susan.
Thanks for listening, Susan.
Listening in the car. Doesn't say where in the car, where she's at. But
she's in the car. That's where she's listening.
Shout out to Susan. Thanks for listening to the show. And Abdalla will post it on his social media.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, I think is what he said. And he called Giannis a weirdo.
I did not. I said in an endearing way. When you add the O, it adds a derogatory.
I agree.
I didn't say weirdo.
Adding the O to the end of it.
I didn't say weirdo. No. Don't put words in my mouth.
Weird. You said
You're
he was
the one
weird.
that called him something derogatory. You called him a derogatory name.
No,
Let it be on the record.
I said he could be a Disney adult.
With disdain in your voice. With disdain and disgust in your voice.
Hey, to each his own, man.
Like I said, disdain and disgust in your voice.
We will have Stock Watch with Raj coming up next. International soccer is taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you fully covered.
The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states with all the matches you love, all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks. Expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Baker Mayfield is looking for a new contract before training camp. Will the Buccaneers get a deal done with the franchise QB or risk a distraction hovering over Tampa Bay all season? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. Each and every day, broadcasting live from the great city of Chicago. It's Bleck and Abdalla hanging out with you right here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Now we go on out to parts unknown in Colorado, and that's where Raj Sharon's located.
And the next question comes from the line of Raj Sharan with Westwood One. Please proceed.
Please proceed. On a Wednesday, it's time for Stock Watch with Raj. What's up, Raj?
What's up, fellas? The stock market is open. It is time to pad those portfolios of sports stock. And we are going to begin with a man who is headed into the NFL supplemental draft. Earlier, we had the inaugural Bleck and Abdalla mock supplemental draft, in which he wound up going in the second round to the Arizona Cardinals, thanks to Chris Bleck. So, Abdalla, I ask you, are you buying or selling your stock in supplemental draft prospect Brendan Sorsby?
So, like, if this is a future, and I had to place a bet on Brendan Sorsby, if you will.
Yeah, please, if you do, DraftKings use promo code BNA26 if you're going to place said bet on Sorsby's future.
I'm going to sell Brendan Sorsby. I just don't. I think that there's a lot of hype around a quarterback from Cincinnati who hasn't really, like, cool. He put up cool stats at Cincinnati, but we haven't really seen him do anything against tougher competition. Right? Like, yes, you can say that Matt Miller from ESPN going into this season would have had him behind Arch Manning and Dante Moore as the third-ranked quarterback. But this season hasn't happened yet. And where will he be, or would he have been at the end of this season? Right? Like, Matt Barkley went back to school for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that work out for him?
Didn't go well.
You know, so... And look, if he would have come out of school this year, he would have been right behind Fernando Mendoza, but not ahead of Fernando Mendoza. And we know that Fernando Mendoza would have been behind a bunch of these guys coming out in this upcoming draft in 2027. So what does that say about Brendan Sorsby? So I'm going to sell right now because I think there's a lot of hype because he's the only, like, quote, free agent out there that people can talk about.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Can you guys answer this question for me? And maybe everyone's aware of it, and I just don't remember hearing about it. Why didn't he enter the draft this year?
I think he was planning on going back to school.
I think he just wanted to up his stock.
Yeah, I think he was planning on going back to up his stock.
When did the gambling stuff come out?
The gambling stuff came out.
I think it was after
Did it come out in, like, January? Or it only came, wasn't didn't Cincinnati know back in January when he transferred to Texas Tech? Wasn't this a part of the story? I know not him being suspended for the season.
Yeah.
But the gambling, the fact that.
I don't think it was until after
the draft.
It was after the draft, though, right?
It has to be, right?
I think so.
I know that
at least when it ramped up into the kind of the mainstream zeitgeist. So I'm looking right now. It looks like, according to what I'm finding online, in March is when the NCAA was initially alerted.
Okay.
Based on a law enforcement tip, and then in April is when they notified Tech about it.
Okay,
so it was
In March, he knew something was going wrong.
He knew something was up,
right?
Yeah.
So why didn't he enter the NFL draft?
I don't know.
Weren't we in Pittsburgh in April?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's something to think about later. I don't even I'm just trying to figure out.
It's a good point.
He should have just tried to enter the draft. I'm sure there's a date that you have to announce that you're going into the NFL draft. I'm sure he missed that deadline or something.
Yeah.
With the story. To answer your question, Raj, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna root against this kid. I'm gonna sell the stock. I don't like.
Root against?
Yeah, I don't like.
Rooting against. You're pulling a
Listen,
Sorsby. You're betting against it. You're betting against him. You're betting unders.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sick of the story.
Is he? He was betting against his own teammates.
Yeah, it's a bad move. Everything about this story I don't like. So I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I hope he falls on his face.
Like, here's the thing. I know.
I hope someone offers like a 5th round pick. He doesn't make a roster. And then it's like, oh, look what you did, kid.
Like, here's the thing. I understand when I say this. There's a lot worse things you can do as a person. There's
doubt.
a lot worse things you can do as a person. Like, I don't need to list all the things that you could do as a person that are worse than what he did.
Give us your top 10.
Worst things you could do as a person. Top 10 things you could do. Pull out the Letterman cards. Top 10 things you could do as a person.
We'll flip it back
Number 10.
to power rankings. Give us your power rankings of the worst things you can do as a person.
But the fact that you were sitting in the same room, probably sitting next to and sharing like locker space, like next to the next to the same locker.
I mean, players in the locker room know who sucks.
But you were betting against the guy sitting next to you. Like, could you do anything worse on a team other than like injuring him or putting like HGH in his water?
From a sports context, like quitting on your team, I guess, is the only thing that comes off the top of my head that's like
or
worse.
like being an offensive lineman and like olaying a defensive end so he hurts the quarterback. Like, what are you doing?
Like, Raj, am I a bad guy that I'm rooting against Sorsby?
It depends where you come down on the case of, do you think of gambling as like an illness? Like as some like the Texas Tech crew was doing during the roundtable, that this is like an illness. I think that would be the most the most logical. I was trying to think if there's been another player coming to the draft that's had this kind of juju. The closest I could think of was Maurice Clarett. Like, a lot of people were rooting against Maurice Clarett when he went into the league.
What about Terrell Pryor? Didn't Terrell Pryor have something?
He was in the supplemental draft. Yeah, there was something in school to put him in the supplemental draft.
Terrell Pryor? Didn't he just sign some autographs for money or something like that?
Yeah, it might have been. Let's establish this. I'm not rooting for the kid to have like mental health issues. That's not the case. I just am sick of the story, and I didn't like that he was trying to skirt the system. And whether that be Texas Tech as well in playing a role in that, but I think that's where I stand on it. I'm going to sell my stock on Sorsby. I'm out.
All right, guys, moving on to the NBA. We've talked about this before.
Free tattoos he received at Ohio State.
There you go. Free tattoos.
That's not even close.
Come on, man.
All right, we've talked about this before. For elder millennials as we are, it's a little weird to think how long LeBron James has been in Los Angeles with the Lakers. We got the report from Brian Windhorst that they're working on a new deal. Here's a crazy stat. If he resigns and comes back to the Lakers, he'll have been a Laker longer than Shaq, which is just kind of crazy to think of, but he'll be in his 9th season in LA. Shaq played 8 with the Lakers. Are you buying or selling the Los Angeles Lakers potentially returning stock of LeBron James, Bleck?
I'm going to buy that stock because I think it's the most logical place for LeBron to play next season. I don't think it's the best idea to do that, but I think the Lakers will cave and they will see that they were close last year. If everyone stayed healthy, they could have competed with Oklahoma City or San Antonio, even though we could say that it wasn't going to be the case. But I think after seeing New York beat the Spurs in the finals, like maybe next year we have to check ourselves during the season in the thought of like just assuming we know who's going to win the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt as if we got to the halfway point and people tuned out to the season because they're like, oh, it's going to be the Spurs or the Thunder. One of those teams will win the NBA championship. So I'm going to buy the stock that I think LeBron will end up with the Lakers.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, what is it, Occam's razor, the most likely outcome, the most likely reason, or whatever it is. So, yeah, LeBron James will be a Laker. I think I'm buying stock in that, too. I think the most likely outcome is that LeBron James is a Laker, or at least in that area. Like the Warriors or the Lakers, I would say, would be that thing. That'll be the most likely thing that happens to him. He'll be a Laker first. If not, he'll just be heading a couple hours north, and he'll go to the Warriors. I think that's the most likely outcomes for for him and either of those teams.
All right, Abdalla, back over to the NFL. He's a good boy. He reported to Dallas. He's not holding out. He's saying the right things. He's doing the right things. Are you buying or selling George
I'll buy George Pickens because I like this Cowboys team. And I mean, in order to back that up, I have to buy stock in George Pickens because I think that I don't know if he's going to be on this team long term, but at least for this year, I have to buy some George Pickens stock. I might have to short it, by the end of the year if he leaves the team because they can't figure out a deal. But I think that at least for this season, look, Dak played really well last year. If Stafford and Drake May didn't have as good a years as they did and didn't run away with it, like Dak should have been like third for MVP. And that was without, CeeDee Lamb. So now that he's got both receivers, should have both receivers healthy, I'm going to buy stock because if you've got two really good receivers healthy for the whole season, this team should be really good. I'm going to buy stock.
I'm going to sell because even though George Pickens is showing up, he's participating, he's doing all the right things today, at some point it's going to be a problem that he doesn't have a new contract. So I will sell with the idea that at some point he is going to be frustrated, want his new deal, extended deal. It's not going to happen. That's going to be a problem for the Cowboys. So I'm going to sell George Pickens.
All right, guys, next up, Bleck. Earlier in the show, your colleague called him a weirdo, I believe. Are we buying?
Not weirdo. No. Don't put vowels in there. No.
Are you already making the promo?
Can you verify for me what did you use to describe him? You called him weird.
Weird. He called him weird.
Called him weird.
Non-derogatory. Complimentary.
Are you buying or selling Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bleck?
I'm going to sell because I was the first to point out that if you have a star, a number one star, and that star cannot shoot from the outside, and that person's Giannis, that I don't think anymore that you can win in the NBA with that guy as your number one. And I've been saying it for a couple years now, Abdalla. He got his championship, and I think the league has changed to the point where they know how to defend Giannis, and he is easy in a playoff series to kind of work around. And so I am selling Giannis. I know that a lot of teams are going to be lining up to try and land him in this offseason. I would be good on that. So I'm going to sell.
By the way, Abdalla, Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines weird as of strange or extraordinary character.
Yeah, he's an extraordinary character. Extraordinary. That's complimentary.
Yes.
That is a complimentary. What does the dictionary say about when someone says the words Disney adult with disdain in their voice?
Hopefully they take it as a shot.
Yeah. I am also gonna sell, but it's because I don't like the vibes around him when he's asked about the trades and the rumors, and he's like, well, nothing came from my camp, and you don't, nothing, and he like gives these weird answers and stuff like that. So I sell just based on that alone.
By the way, Urban Dictionary defines a Disney adult as an adult with an intense and extreme love of the Walt Disney Company films, television shows, franchises, characters, theme parks, merchandise, memorabilia, and or products. Back to you, former Walt Disney employee Chris Bleck.
That is, we Abdalla and I served our time. We absolutely did. Can I
get out of here?
Can I also point out that was the cleanest Urban Dictionary definition I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's
when you said you pulled it from Urban Dictionary, I was like, hold on,
easy, buddy. We don't have dumb buttons over here.
I didn't know there was something called the Disney adult.
Yeah,
I did not know there was.
What position is that?
I didn't know that was a move.
Careful, buddy.
Oh, yeah, our show got slapped on the wrist many times from the
we
mouse
did.
Back in the day. But that's why we're here.
Get in my office.
Westwood One Sports. Thank you, Raj.
And finally, guys, Baker Mayfield. We talked about him earlier in the show. Tampa Bay, he wants a new deal. The Bucs want him to protect himself. He's like, I'm always playing. We had hamburgers with him. You buying or selling Baker Mayfield, Black?
I'm always buying a little bit of
burgers with Baker.
I'm always buying a little bit of Baker Mayfield. Are you kidding me?
Hell yeah.
Who wouldn't want to buy a little bit of Baker Mayfield? I like the way he plays. I like his moxie. which has gone from derogatory to complimentary when you're talking about Baker Mayfield.
The vibes, good vibes.
Great vibes, you know?
He was a little salty that reporters were asking about his availability.
I love that. Listen, if it doesn't work out with Tampa, it's going to work out with somebody else, whether it's Pittsburgh, whether it's another team, it's going to work out with somebody else because that dude wins. And listen, he's great.
Back to Cleveland with Monken?
Oh, no.
It makes sense.
No,
but
it doesn't. Don't do that to him.
If you look at the team and the situation, and if it doesn't work out with Deshaun and it doesn't work out with any of the other quarterbacks that they have, it works out perfectly. But the fact is, they're the Browns. Like, if you just took the name off the team, the situation works, but he was already there and it didn't work out. So, okay, but Stefanski's gone. So maybe.
He and Monken could get some haircuts together. It'd be great.
Yes. I'm buying Baker as well. All the reasons Abdalla listed.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Yeah. Thank you, Todd Monken, with your sweet haircut. No, I don't want that for Baker.
No.
I don't want him going back to the Browns, but I will buy the Baker Mayfield stock. Absolutely.
All right, that does it for Stock Watch today, fellas. Thank you.
That was great. Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com. Bleck Abdalla, get in here. You guys are in trouble. Sit down. What are you doing? Why would you play that? Oh, yeah, we did our time. How about this? The NBA playoffs and the NBA finals. The ratings around the finals were the best in 30 years. What does that mean for the NBA? We'll tell you coming up next.
The U.S. men's national team looks to go 2-0 in group play when they take on Australia. Can the Americans win 2 games in group play for the first time since the original World Cup nearly a century ago? We'll find out Friday. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
The NBA Finals were fantastic. The Knicks win the Finals in 5 games. And people watched. A lot of people watched the NBA Finals. Game 5 of the NBA Finals had 24 million people watching, which made it the most watched Game 5 since 1998. And that year, 1998, was Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls, going for their 6th championship. In the final championship for Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, taking on the Utah Jazz. And it was a finals matchup that was the same finals matchup in back-to-back years. 97-98 were both Bulls Jazz for the NBA Finals. So, Abdallah, when we look back at the NBA playoffs overall, the NBA Finals, and you know, a lot of people paid attention to the NBA here in the last 2 months. And it was cool to see that a lot of people tuned in to these games. And most of the games were actually pretty good as well.
Yeah, I think all the finals games were good, because the only game that I could think that you maybe would have tuned out for is at one point, if you would have been watching the game and you've been like, oh, Spurs are up by like 30. All right, this one might be over.
Well, you missed a game.
You missed quite the game.
In Game 4 if you did that.
Yeah, but a lot of these games all these games essentially went the same way. 4 of them went exactly the same way, where the Spurs were up double digits. The Knicks found a way to come back, and they won. And they won the series 4-1, because in every single game, in all 5 of these games, the Spurs were up double digits in every single game, and the Knicks found a way to come back, and then it went back and forth and back and forth. And in 4 of them, the Knicks found a way to win, including that 29-point lead by the Spurs, where the Knicks found a way to come back and win that game at the end. And it's not surprising that, one, you have the New York market, which is huge, right? It's obviously going to generate a ton of ratings if you have the largest market in the country, right? And then you also have what the NBA hopes, and obviously what he hopes too, the next superstar in the NBA in Victor Wembanyama, the next face, maybe, of the NBA in Victor Wembanyama. I mean, we don't know. It's only his 3rd year in the league. We don't know if he's going to be or not.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's pointing to that.
It could be.
Yeah.
He's also 7.5 feet tall, and they have guys that are that tall have a history of crippling injuries. So,
all right.
They do. Prove me wrong, Chris. Prove me wrong.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay, that's one guy out of...
I proved you wrong.
That's one guy out of the majority. Like I said, the majority of them do not last.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Like I said,
Patrick Ewing.
You're naming 4 guys. I can name
David Robinson.
I can name
Tim
the
Duncan.
75 others that have not lasted that are that tall.
I just rattled off like 6. Bill Russell.
Again, out of the hundreds of others
Wilt.
that haven't made it. So statistics are still on my side.
I don't know. I think I just proved you wrong.
You named the starting 5
no, I
of
didn't.
guys.
I just listed off some of the best centers of all time.
Okay, cool. And I can go through a list of 100 different guys that have had foot injuries, that have dealt with it, that have struggled to stay healthy, that have not made it through seasons. And also, you have a guy that is sleepwalking through games in the finals. That I told you 2 weeks ago that couldn't stay awake through games. So if he continues to do that, guess who's not going to be the face of the league anymore?
Okay, yeah.
Victor Wembanyama can't even win an MVP.
Sure.
Just saying. Not going to be the face of the league if you can't win an MVP.
Dikembe Mutombo.
Wow. Still. Big guys don't stay healthy. Every time we talk about a big guy, guys go, they can't stay healthy. They can't stay healthy.
Nikola Jokic.
Doesn't care about basketball.
What? You are just changing your criteria.
He doesn't care about basketball.
What are you doing right
he cares
now?
more about his horses than he cares about basketball.
We plan to have a segment to talk about the ratings, but clearly you are just
There's
out
a
on the deep
history
end
of
on
big
this one.
dudes that can't stay healthy, and you know that.
I just listed like 20 centers in league history who stayed healthy,
and you know the majority of them struggle to stay healthy. You know the majority of big men struggle to stay healthy. You know that.
I don't think that's the case.
You know that's the case.
I don't know that.
Okay.
I just gave you a bunch of names.
All right, cool.
Raj, did I not just give Abdalla a bunch of names?
All right, you name names.
I'm over here steaming over the Jokic comments. Not a good time to come to Raj and Parts Unknown.
See, right?
Greg, okay. Kristaps Porzingis, Greg Oden. Let's see. Yao Ming was constantly hurt.
I'll give you.
Shaq was injured at times.
Shaq dominated for.
He was still hurt a lot. He was still hurt
when he was old, like when he was like
still
30.
Hurt. Still hurt.
Here. Let me help your case. Bill Walton.
Okay, Bill Walton was still hurt. Still hurt.
Bad feet.
Bill Walton and Rick Smits are the 2 names that are coming to my mind for the Abdalla point of view.
Yes.
And all the other guys that didn't make it because they were injured. You're only naming guys that stayed healthy because they stayed healthy. There's a bunch of dudes that didn't make it because they didn't stay healthy.
What?
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
I'm lost in all that. Oh, Bleck just walked off the set, folks.
Chris
not
just
watching
got
on YouTube. Bleck's gone.
It's the Abdalla show now.
What?
He left.
What did you just say?
All the guys that didn't stay healthy. That's why they're not
You're
named.
just listing guys that stayed healthy because they stayed healthy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't know the guys that didn't stay healthy because they never made it because they didn't stay healthy.
But there were a lot of non-centers who had injury history. Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway. I mean, we can do that list too.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that didn't stay healthy. We'll see if he can. He's a large individual.
I have no thoughts for
large guys
in the rest of this segment.
Tend to not stay healthy.
You take this. I don't
large
know
guys
what
tend to not stay healthy.
Hell, you're doing.
You know, though, we doubted him last time, and he was right on the Wemby fatigue thing. So
yep.
I don't know.
Are you cursing Wemby right now, Abdalla?
You know, Raj, I'm rarely wrong. Just early.
I just hope people let it marinate.
Hold on.
Just
wait.
saying.
So you're cursing
like
Wemby right now.
Like I said back in May, the Knicks would win the finals, and I also said that Wemby would be tired. Rarely wrong, just early.
So you're saying Wemby's gonna get injured?
No, I'm just saying that big dudes, they struggle sometimes.
Yeah.
He struggled to stay awake in the finals.
All right, Spurs fan, if Wemby gets hurt, you know who to come after.
It's Abdalla. We blame Abdalla.
Found him sleeping on the court.
All right, Abdalla, what's our tease coming up next? What do we have?
More of this. It's going to be great.
More of this?
Yeah.
Chris is just going to name dudes.
Naming dudes.
Naming dudes here.
They were all healthy.
On
that's
Westwood
coming up
1.
next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports, live from Chicago. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Abdalla here on the show. We've been covering a lot today. We were talking about LeBron James and the Lakers and the fact that there are reports that there are conversations taking place between the Lakers and LeBron before free agency starts because he is a member of the Lakers. You can talk with the team that you currently play for. So that's out there. We've been keeping our eyes on the World Cup. There's action taking place already today. Portugal is in one. They're in a fight against the Congo. Tied 1-1 at the half. So we'll keep our eyes on the World Cup as well.
To see, has Ronaldo done anything? I'm looking to see.
I don't know. After yesterday's performance from all the stars, Mbappe and Messi, could Ronaldo do something special today, this afternoon for Portugal?
Unless there's a penalty kick, he usually doesn't do much.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you know what's interesting, and we're going to get to the summer of football here in just a second. Earlier today, Raj mentioned to us about Messi and asked us, is he still good or is he kind of washed? And the answer is Messi can still play. Messi is still great. Is he as good as he was when he was with PSG or with Barcelona? No, he's not that. He's old, but he's still great.
Yeah.
Where Cristiano Ronaldo, who's the other greatest of all time from this era, this generation, he's kind of washed.
Yeah.
He's a poaching goal scorer.
Yes.
He doesn't do anything else on the pitch other than hopefully get service from others who are better, who could give him a chance at a goal. Isn't that the best way to describe?
And he's a penalty merchant.
Yeah, that's the best. Like he's not even the best player on the team, but if someone gets a penalty, he's going to take the penalty kick so he can pad his stats.
Exactly. So he can add to his goal total. Yep.
So that's in Ronaldo and Portugal are playing right now. So we'll keep our eyes on the World Cup, and that's where that comes from. But yeah, I mean, Messi is still good. He plays in the MLS, which is a lesser league compared to the leagues that are over in Europe, but he can still play. And last night, I think the performance, the hat trick from Messi was pretty incredible to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. And, the joke is that an MLS player is leading the World Cup in goals. But
pretty great.
But it happens to be, Messi, which is, fitting. So.
Yes. You can always join the show at 310-840-4910. And we love football here on the program. So each day here in the summer, we count down to the start of the NFL season with the summer of football.
I proclaim this the summer of
Football!
What the hell's going on out here? We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
We need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots.
The summer of football with Bleck and Abdalla.
I throw, you catch. It's not that hard, okay?
Westwood One Sports, your home for the NFL as we count down the days to the start of the NFL season. Today, day 84. 84 days until we get to the start of the NFL season. Count it down, Abdalla. Here we go.
Love it.
Today's topic here on the summer of football, we go to ESPN.com. They have the 3 best moves this off season listed off. So the 3 best moves for the NFL off season. Here are the top 3 moves. Coming in at number 3, the Patriots trading for A.J. Brown. Number 3 on the list, according to ESPN.com.
So the move that everybody knew was going to happen at some point. And look, I mean, just because everybody knew it was going to happen at a certain point doesn't mean it wasn't a good move. But you had to get Drake May a decent number 1 wide receiver. Now, the hope is that A.J. Brown puts up more than the 1,000 and change yards that he put up, because it was like 1,007 yards, and 7 touchdowns that he put up last year with the Eagles, and with Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator and Drake May, the second place MVP by like the slimmest of margins. The idea is that he will do that, and I think he will be able to do that. So yeah, that's a great move, and it fortifies that offense, and I think they will be a lot better, and A.J. Brown will be a lot better with Drake May and the Patriots and Drake May as his quarterback.
When I saw the article on ESPN.com, I started to read through it, and I saw that was sitting there, and it's slotted as number 3 on the list of the best offseason moves. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. If we're looking at it, I thought it would maybe be a little higher on the list. To me, the number 1 move is very obvious, right? So number 2. Like, where would you place it? Would you place A.J. Brown as the 3rd biggest story in the offseason?
Yeah, I would. I'd probably put it at number 3 based on the other 2 that are going to be 1 and 2 on this list, because there are 2 bigger moves. I think that there's because, look, the Patriots were in the Super Bowl last year. Like, there's no other place to go higher than the Super Bowl besides winning it. Does this make them a winning Super Bowl team? I don't think they're going to get back to that point, because I thought that they were not necessarily lucky to get there. They had a lot of things go their way to get
you're saying
there.
Lucky.
No, listen, it's the NFL. Guys are going to get hurt. The schedule is this: you beat the teams on your schedule. You can't, like, it just happens.
Well, I mean, it was go back to the season. We all knew what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same as some others that got to that stage.
Of course.
It was a softer schedule.
It was a softer schedule, charmed run, all that good stuff. But, like, they can't control that Bo Nix broke his ankle.
No.
Like, they can't control that. You play who you play. You play the quarterbacks you go against.
They also can't control that Miami and New York, the Jets, both stink.
Exactly. Like, that's not their fault.
So those are 4 easy winnable games right in your back pocket.
Exactly.
All right, number 2, the Browns trading Myles Garrett to the Rams. How this is not number 1 is crazy. This is number 1, right? This is the number 1 story.
It's okay. So what's interesting to me is how this is worded, right?
Yeah.
This is worded as the Browns traded Myles Garrett to the Rams, and not the Rams are
trading for Myles Garrett.
This is worded as the Browns are resetting and getting Jared Verse and getting another 1st-round pick and getting a 2nd-round pick and getting a 3rd-round pick. So this move, the way this is worded, this is the 2nd best move. If this had been worded as the Rams are getting Myles Garrett, it's the number 1 move. But the way that this is written...
Why wasn't it worded that way?
I don't know. I didn't write it. I'm not the writer of this article. I'm not Jeremy Fowler.
Jeremy Fowler, ESPN.com.
Don't come after me. I'm not Jeremy Fowler. But if you look
You are a man, though.
I am, but I'm not Jeremy Fowler.
You're over 40?
I am. I'm not Jeremy Fowler, though.
Okay.
If you worded it as the Rams getting Myles Garrett, yes, number 1 move.
Yeah, it's number 1.
But the Browns kind of resetting their timeline and getting Jared Verse and getting another 2027 pick, which by reports will be used ideally to move up in the draft if they need to get a better quarterback that's not Shedeur Sanders or Deshaun Watson or Dylan Gabriel, then this is the number 2 move.
Any move around Myles Garrett.
I know.
Pick your side.
I know.
It's number 1.
I understand that.
And then if you wanted to say we're picking sides, fine. One of them can be 1, the other can be 2. And then start the rest of the list at 3.
I understand that. But I'm saying that the way this is worded, there's a move that's better than this.
Okay, so A.J. Brown was 3. Myles Garrett 2.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, Jalen Waddle traded to the Broncos.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the number 1 move.
From Miami to the Broncos, and now the Broncos have a number 1 star wide receiver, the pair with Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix, and that offense from last year with Sean Payton that got to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's the number 1 move to me, because unless you change the wording of the other one and say, well, the Rams got Myles Garrett, but he didn't. So the Broncos were a 14-win team last year, and they didn't have Jalen Waddle. And now you have this explosive wide receiver that Sean Payton gets to add to this offense. Bo Nix with another year with Sean Payton, fully healthy. He said he's feeling better than ever. You have this great offensive line that's coming back fully healthy. You had a good defense last year. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be great. They're certainly not going to be up to the caliber that they have been in the past. They're dragging around an aging Travis Kelce. They don't have the weapons that they have. I think the Chargers are going to be good. I just don't think they're going to be as good as the Broncos. And look, I like that Mike McDaniel is going to be the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. I like what they have. I just don't think they're going to be as good as the Broncos. And if you add this weapon to an already 14-win team, I don't know if they're going to win 14 games again or this makes them a 15-win team. It's not like that. But this makes them the most dangerous team in the division, and it makes them one of the most dangerous teams in the conference, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the case. I love the move as well. To add a little context to Jeremy Fowler's column on ESPN.com, before the actual breakdown of the trades, he writes that ESPN talked to league scouts, executives, and coaches about their favorite offseason moves after the dust settled. So he also referenced that these were discussions that could have taken place at the scouting combine or other locations throughout the offseason process. So after the dust settled, some answers were predictable, others were surprising. Clearly, Waddle to the Broncos being the number one item on the list is a little surprising. It certainly is surprising, but like you kind of laid out there, it makes a lot of sense to why that move is such a big move to those around the league, scouts, executives, coaches around the league, because now it gives Sean Payton 2 stud wide receivers in an offense that was pretty good last season, right? And the Broncos already have a great defense.
Yeah, they do. And I think that with time that is given to Bo Nix because of that great offensive line that they have, Waddle's going to be able to fly down that field. And if he can get open and Bo Nix can give him the ball and he stays healthy because he says he's feeling better than ever, like this offense, that defense, as far as they got last year, the unfortunate injury that kept them out of a game that they probably would have won if he would have been healthy, like that it's unfortunate, but that's the NFL. Just the same way that the Patriots got to the Super Bowl, the opposite is true for the Broncos. Like, that's what happened. People get hurt in the NFL. Like, sorry, it just happens. So if they can stay healthy, then ideally they can get to an AFC championship game. Maybe they can get to a Super Bowl. Maybe this is the missing piece to get them to a Super Bowl. Because with the Myles Garrett deal, like if the Rams don't get to a Super Bowl, that's a bust of a deal.
Yeah.
You have to get to a Super Bowl in the next 2 years.
So let me ask you this. Is it a bust of a deal? Say they get to a Super Bowl with Myles Garrett, but then Ty Simpson turns into an absolute bust of a pick. So you get the championship, you get Myles Garrett, but the long-term solution to how you piecemealed this all together by taking the quarterback at 13 overall, if he turns out to be a player like, say, Ty Simpson is the next Zach Wilson.
Okay.
Or Trey Lance. Josh Rosen.
Okay.
Name a quarterback that was selected high, first-round guy, who turned into an absolute bust of a player who couldn't play.
Yeah.
Will it be a successful move if they did accomplish that goal with Myles Garrett this season, but then after this season, Matthew Stafford retires, and the team is given to Ty Simpson, and Simpson is so bad that in 2 or 3 years, when you don't have the draft capital, you need to go get a quarterback, and you can't do it.
Did you get to it, or did you just win it? Or did you win it?
For this conversation, let's say the Rams win it this year.
Worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it to mortgage
the next
5 years.
Well, it's not because it's the Rams.
I feel like
they'll find a way.
We're all giving the Rams a pass because they have the backup plan. Well, but if the backup plan doesn't work when Stafford's done playing, don't we have to take into account what we get out of Garrett in this one season?
Yeah, but it's Les Snead. So what if I told you that?
And I also know Garrett will be there beyond the one season.
Absolutely. So what if I told you that Les Snead found a way to, after this year, and let's say they have a year of Ty Simpson and he's bad, and they find a way when Joe Burrow's contract is up, they get Joe Burrow. Like, they find a way to trade, because it's Les Snead, dude. They trade. They mortgage the future for everybody. Like, it's because of who it is, it's worth it, and I don't care because of who the team is. They will find a way. Like, they will always find a way. So because you won a Super Bowl, you pulled off all these moves. You went and got Trent McDuffie. You extended him. You made all these different moves. You went and got Myles Garrett. Who knows? Maybe Aaron Donald comes out of retirement for a year. You're driving the Blues Brother mobile around. You're trying to get all these players out of retirement for one last show for everybody. Like, that's what you're doing right now. And if you win a Super Bowl, it's worth it. Ask the fans. It's worth it. And if Ty Simpson is bad, ask the fans. They'll be fully confident in Les Snead that he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That they'll say, oh, well, we'll just get insert quarterback here. That he'll trade for someone here or find a disgruntled, like, who's going to say that Baker Mayfield's is unhappy somewhere?
And he was with McVay. That was a part of the football rehab of Baker Mayfield, was joining the Rams on a short week. Remember that?
Exactly.
Not knowing the game plan, but McVay got him through the game, and Baker was able to play decently through that contest.
Who's to say that that Sean McVay couldn't find a way to turn J.J. McCarthy into something? Like, there's all these guys that are just sitting in spots that have talent that could be something that enter the room with a Kevin O'Connell from the Vikings or a Sean McVay or a Kyle Shanahan that are instantly transformed, or could be, or sometimes not, that could be transformed into something that I have full confidence in Les Snead to find that if Ty Simpson doesn't work out, if you win a championship, it's completely worth it.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. So there you go. The summer of football today, day 84. How about that? Day 84 on the countdown.
Matriculating our way through the summer.
As we head towards the opener in the NFL, the Seahawks and the Patriots, the first game of the NFL season, 84 days away. Can't wait. Coming up next, we will have our favorite segment of the show, the World Cup of Soup. Yep, Abdalla will taste test the soup for today in the World Cup of Soup, and that's coming up next. International soccer is taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you fully covered.
The DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states. Sweat all the matches you love all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Patrick Mahomes is the NFL's first $500 million man. The future Hall of Famer has a new deal with the Chiefs worth over $500 million. Coming off major knee surgery, will the three-time Super Bowl champ still have the Mahomes magic to live up to the contract? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Here on the show, we celebrate the World Cup. We love soccer. We love watching the World Cup. Right now, Portugal is in a match. The Congo, it's 1-1. Portugal and Congo in the 61st minute, which would be a major upset. Even if Congo ties the match at the end for a draw, that would be an upset. So interesting soccer taking place today. England and Croatia play later on this afternoon, 4 Eastern. So that's going to be a big match as well. Panama's in action. Colombia later on today. And today is like the final day of the first set of games. So group stage will go on for the next couple of weeks here. Once we get past today, tomorrow you will start to see the teams that have already played one game again. And then the U.S. men's national team plays on Friday afternoon against Australia in Seattle. Yeah. So The World Cup's taking place. We love the World Cup. We love watching the soccer. And here on the show, we will celebrate the World Cup with a segment we like to call the World Cup of Soup.
No soup for you. Bleck and Abdalla's World Cup of Soup.
Soup is good food.
So each day here on the show, during the group stage of the World Cup, Abdalla will pick a country out of each group, and he will taste test the soup here on the show. And then when the World Cup gets to the knockout stage in the brackets, he will throw all the soups into a bracket, and he will declare a champion of the World Cup of Soup. Today, what do you have for us, Mr. Abdalla?
So today, we matriculate our way. I love saying the word matriculate.
It's your favorite thing?
I love it. We matriculate our way to Group F. And Group F consists...
Hold on. What happened to Group B and C? I thought
I
we
told
had
you. No. Listen, I said that the World Cup... Play that music again. The World Cup is fluid, baby. Shakira's hips don't lie. We're moving. Yeah, we're moving. We're grooving, baby. Don't you worry. We'll get to Groups B and C. Okay. Don't you worry.
You skipped over B and C.
Don't
That's
you worry
why.
your pretty little coiffed face over there, okay? We'll get to Groups B and C when we get to them, okay?
My hair is coiffed, not my face.
Yeah, whatever. You get the idea. Group F consists of Sweden, Japan, the Netherlands, and Tunisia, or as I call it, Tunis.
So you went with a Dutch soup?
Yeah, I went with a Dutch soup, Chris. No, I went to Japan.
Okay, all right, cool. Can I say, before you announce what soup you've selected?
Yeah.
Am I seeing that correctly? And you can watch the show on YouTube, Bleck and Abdalla.
Please get to there.
Bleck and Abdalla's show, our live stream is up on YouTube. It looks like you have beef hanging out over the cup.
First of all, there's a lot of things in this cup.
Am I correct in what I'm seeing?
Yeah,
there?
there's a lot of beef in there.
All right.
I went to Japan, Chris. I didn't physically go to Japan. Japan came to me, and I went with the udon noodle soup, specifically a beef udon, an udon noodle.
See?
An udon noodle is a thick noodle, a thick, chewy wheat noodle, served in a savory soy sauce seasoned dashi broth. It can have beef, it can have shrimp, it can have tempura in it. I went with the beef option, and as you can see, this is a thick and hearty soup.
There's a lot in that cup.
There's a lot in this cup. I cannot really, so I'll try the broth.
So let me ask a question.
Yeah.
There is liquid in that,
There's
right?
liquid, so yeah, so I'm going to have to, I got to press down to get to the broth. So
it looks like you have a cup of pasta.
I got to press down to get to the broth. So I'm going to
beef.
try the broth first. Here.
Okay, all right.
That's really good. That's great. That's excellent broth. However,
yeah,
I have to whip these out.
Oh, easy there.
Adam using chopsticks?
I have to bust out.
Roy, he's using chopsticks.
The chopsticks.
Hell yeah.
Okay? And I have to use the chopsticks to get to the beef. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's get a noodle.
So he's using the chopsticks to corral a noodle and some beef there.
His posture's pretty good with the chopsticks.
He's
he knows how to use it.
eating his soup
with
chopsticks now. Mm-hmm. He's got, what is that, some seaweed on top?
It's a kelp, like dashi.
Kelp?
Yeah.
Okay, you got
dashi,
that?
Yeah, some onion.
Okay.
Some more
You're really
beef.
getting after it there with the chopsticks.
Yeah, I got to try everything. Some more beef. Yeah, because I know how to use chopsticks. When you know how to use...
Yeah, you say you know how to use it.
Well,
you've
slippery.
No, it looks slippery. As you go for another bite of the beef.
Okay.
Even Asians struggle with, grabbing noodles with chopsticks.
Roy's Korean. He can say that.
I know. I'm just saying for people
this is radio.
who don't know.
This
I
is
just want
radio.
to make sure that
Let's
Roy...
preface that by saying Roy is Korean. He is allowed to say that.
Yes, and I was the one that gave him the first suggestion of the
You can't just throw that out there, Roy.
You got to make sure people know what's happening here on the show.
You got to preface that, okay? All right.
I thought people knew.
People don't. New audience every day, Roy.
Every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes, the audience cycles. All right, let me try one more noodle before I give a proper rating.
This is the soup review for the World Cup of Soup. Abdalla's really digging into this.
Okay.
Not a lot of liquid in what you're doing.
No, there is. It's all at the bottom, though.
I see it.
I think what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to dump this into a really big bowl.
You're pulling a Cristiano Ronaldo. You're just poaching off the top there.
Okay. All right.
Yes. What do we have?
So this is like I said, a beef udon noodle soup.
Correct.
It is from Kai on the north side in the Southport corridor in Chicago. It's really good. That's the best. That's some of the best udon I've had. I didn't go with ramen because everybody goes with ramen. I went with something else. I went with something off the board. I went with udon instead of ramen.
Okay.
It's really good. I'm gonna go with.
Dude, do you really need to smack the lips when you chew like that?
Yeah, it's an audio medium. This is your first day in radio?
He's doing ASMR, man.
That's a 4.0. That's a solid 4.
Soup.
That's a solid 4.
Lock
That's a solid 4.
4.0
That's a solid
soup.
4. That's a solid 4 for Japan.
There it is.
A solid 4.
There it is. World Cup of Soup.
That's delicious.
4.0.
That's so good.
for you.
Bleck and Abdalla's World Cup of Soup.
Soup is good.
What are these things?
food.
What is this little thing that looks like it's got a little pink swirly thing in the middle?
So that is, I believe, a fish cake.
A what?
A fish
You said
cake.
fish cake.
A fish cake?
Yeah. So it's usually in a lot of ramen, a lot of udon. I think it's
What
usually
is a fish cake?
So it's like it's like it's hard to explain it. But you basically like cut up a fish and then you kind of fry it.
Okay.
And
It is.
so,
It's
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Japanese fish cake made from cured white fish paste that is dyed pink, rolled into a log, and then sliced.
Oh, it's like imitation crab.
Essentially, yeah.
Isn't that what they do with imitation
It's called
crab?
Naruto.
Yeah, it is. It is
Naruto
called
Maki.
Naruto, and that is where the name came from too for the anime Naruto.
Oh.
All right. See, there you go. Now we learned something.
I learned something
Fantastic.
today.
Thank you, Roy.
Delicious and nutritious and educational.
How about that?
How about that?
The Bleck
Roy,
Abdalla Show.
who is Korean,
Yes.
can say these things.
Yes. Chris Black did not say that.
Even Asians struggle with it.
You can call or text the show
Oh my
at
god.
310-840-4910.
You want some beef? Do you
it-
want a piece of beef?
It looks floppy.
I got an extra
I'm all right on the
spoon.
beef right now.
Okay.
But yes, the beef looks good. Looks like you're really enjoying the floppiness. Here's a text from the 720. Greetings from Denver, Colorado. Yeah, maybe Raj is texting
Parts
the show.
unknown.
This is what the text reads. Greetings from Denver, Colorado. I listen to the Bleck and Abdalla show daily.
Autocorrect.
Hopefully. Bleck and Abdalla. Today, I disagree with you calling the NBA Finals great basketball. Coaching was a huge part of the game, and I witnessed terrible coaching from the Spurs. At 70 years old, I've seen my share of good NBA basketball. The Stanley Cup final were much better than the NBA Finals. My only wish is my favorite team, the Colorado Avalanche, got there. My other supporting point about the Spurs is their best players didn't play their best. Yeah, and that's a fair point.
It's fair.
So shout out to the 720 listening in Denver, Colorado, listening to the Bleck and Abdalla show.
I would agree that coaching was a huge part of the game. Terrible coaching from the Spurs because De'Aaron Fox should have had his ass on the bench.
Yes.
For a lot of Game 5.
Yeah.
A lot of Game 5.
Yeah, I could have gone with you on that. Absolutely.
Thank you, Blake.
720 is
It's-
like the
yes.
773 of this area. Does that make sense
Oh,
to you
it's like
guys as I
extra?
say that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think you got that. That's pretty good.
The real ones are 303
Right,
here. So
right.
720 and Chicago, the real ones are 312, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and 773
Yeah,
is like you came after the fact.
Yeah,
right?
720
Isn't that what you would say?
773. Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Fantastic. Love it. From the 720. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Speaking of the World Cup, and we celebrate the World Cup of soup here on the show. Did you see that Scotland fans drank Boston Dry?
Shout out.
Local bars ran out of Sam Adams beer. So this is the story on ESPN.com. The parent company of Sam Adams said that its Boston tap room ran out of the brand's flagship Boston Lager over the weekend because Scotland soccer fans in Boston for the World Cup drank 4 times as much as the bar usually sells. How about that?
That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
That's great. The company had to schedule an emergency delivery on Saturday morning just to keep up. Sam Adams wasn't the only one. Hennessy's Bar in downtown Boston told the Boston Globe that it tripled its St. Patrick's Day sales and sold out of beer altogether on Sunday night. Shout out to the Scottish fans, man.
Yeah, see, that's
doing
what
work.
We want to see tourists come to the country for the World Cup and to drink cities dry.
That's doing work.
You know why? Because that makes everyone happy.
That's doing work.
Bar owners, the people working, bartenders,
Mm-hmm.
servers, they're getting tipped because they're selling more alcohol. It's great. Everyone wins in that.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Didn't that happened in, I believe it happened in 2012. The Chicago Bears went to Nashville, and I'm looking at a story right now, November 5th, 2012. The Bears fans drink Nashville bars dry.
Yes.
They went to play
There's
the
a big
Titans.
story here.
Yeah, they went to play the Titans, and the Nashville bars ran out of beer.
Which is hilarious.
Because
I didn't know that was something that could take place.
Well, I mean, I guess they aren't used to that much beer consumption because they're used to drinking whiskey and all that kind of stuff, so they don't have that much beer just like on tap. And they're not used to a bunch of Bears fans coming in and drinking beer. So, but Boston is a beer town.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
that's
it's saying
wild.
something. It's saying something to show up and to drink like that. So there you go. It's pretty amazing to show up tripling St. Patrick's Day.
Same in Boston.
Like what?
In Boston, of all places.
Tripling it.
Oh man, that's great. I love it. That's why I love the World Cup. It's
See, the
stuff
World
like
Cup's
that.
fantastic. See, Raj, the World Cup's great.
It's
you got
stuff
great
like
stories
that,
like
man.
that.
It's a great story. I'm speechless. You can hear my enthusiasm all the way from
Yes.
Sunday.
No, we can hear it. You are enthused. You are absolutely enthused. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. I have a question about the NBA for you. You know, when we see Jalen Brunson and the Knicks win the title, and then last year we saw SGA and the Thunder win the title, are there any conclusions that we can draw from either of these two teams? Which championship is more impressive? What the Thunder were able to pull off last year, or the New York Knicks and what they accomplished this year? We'll talk about that coming up next.
We're a month away from NFL training camps opening. The return of Patrick Mahomes, QB battles in Cleveland, Minnesota and Atlanta, Myles Garrett joining Matthew Stafford in LA. Get ready for football season with Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
If you missed any portion of today's show, check out our podcast on Apple and Spotify. Also, you can like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show. The live stream is up each and every day. During the show, Abdalla tries his soup right there on the live stream, so make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show. Thank you to Raj and to Roy for producing today's show. Coming up next here on Westwood One Sports, in about 15 minutes, Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show. Looking back at the NBA Finals, what Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks were able to accomplish was legendary. It was one of the all-time great runs in NBA playoff finals history. We've never seen something like that before. The point differential that the Knicks won games by in this playoff run, no team has ever matched. You can go through the history books, the 96 Bulls, the 80s Celtics, Showtime Lakers, run it to there was a team with Shaq and Kobe that just absolutely kicked the blank out of every team in the Western Conference on way to one of their championships when they won 3 in a row in the early 2000s. All the Golden State Warriors of the last 10 years, all of those teams were unable to do what the Knicks did in this run to the title. Jalen Brunson's also a player that if you're looking to build your team, he's not going to go in the first 10, right? Like if we did a fantasy draft of NBA players to build a championship roster, how far down the list would you have to get before a team takes Jalen Brunson first? You'd probably have to go pretty far. Now I'm speaking from a point of view before the playoffs took place, right? Like now we know he is capable of doing this.
Even still, though.
So I'm guessing, yeah, but like, is he selected before we get to 12? Is he selected in the top 10? Like the point of this conversation is not to say, is Jalen Brunson a top 10 player in the NBA?
Yeah.
The point is, it was unexpected.
Yes.
The way the Knicks got to this point and were able to win it.
Correct.
2 years ago, the Oklahoma City Thunder had the best record in the NBA. They went on a great run in the playoffs. They win the NBA Finals. They followed up with a great regular season. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins 2 MVPs back-to-back. And they lose in the conference finals, but it was a somewhat successful year for the Thunder last year. If we look at those 2 championships, which one was more impressive? What the Thunder were able to accomplish last year, or the Knicks and what they accomplished this year?
No, it's the Knicks. I mean, that's easy. It's the Knicks.
Right, because like if you did that same exercise with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you would probably have a team select him, within the top 10 of players?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe top 6?
And the problem is, if you say top 10, Thunder fans are going to be upset with you and say, "Why isn't he top 5?"
Yeah, I mean, I'm just speculating. Like, what?
Yeah.
If you go through the list, number 1 is probably Wembanyama right now.
Yeah.
And then you would get to Jokic, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Luka.
Yes.
Anthony Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
Just like spitballing some of the names that you would select before you get to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
But he won 2 MVPs in a row.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, though. Personally, for me, Adam Abdalla, for my team, I would rather have Jalen Brunson.
And I was hoping you said that because that's how I feel.
I would rather have Jalen Brunson, one, because he's a winner who, and this might be an age thing, and this might be the oldest man thing I've ever said in my life, and this might be all the gray hairs that I have showing, that like I want the guy that does the basketball things in basketball. Like I want the guy that doesn't care about everything else. I want the guy that cares about basketball. I want the guy that does everything to win. I want that guy. I don't want the guy that flops all the time. I don't want the guy that the conversation around him is never about how good of a player he is. The conversation around SGA is always the flopping and the free throw merchant and the videos and his wardrobe. And like, it's never about basketball. And yes,
the cease and desist.
The cease and desist, yes. And like, I get it.
Now. Yes,
You've
don't download it. But
you've won 2 MVPs in a row. I'm not doubting your greatness as a basketball player, but for my team, as a fan, like if he were on if I had to pick a player for the Chicago Bulls, I want Jalen Brunson on my team over SGA.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I thought of this conversation. Because I was thinking about Brunson and what he accomplished, winning an NBA Finals MVP, winning a championship. He's the king of New York City. Like, what a cool story it is around Jalen Brunson and what he's accomplished with the Knicks. And I would much rather have that than everything else that goes along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and 2 MVP awards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm only drawing the comparison to last year's championship, because both teams won a championship.
Yeah.
The Thunder, it wasn't just the playoff run that was historical, but like their regular season into the playoffs, essentially you could put that on par with the Bulls, the Warriors, and that's kind of it. Like they had a great year last year that was on par with some of the all-time great teams we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to have that conversation about being a dynasty or the legendary status, some of that goes to this idea that when you look at a team that is going to be up for that, they have to continue succeeding, right? And because the Thunder didn't in this season, now you can push them back down a peg and you can say, okay, you're just a one-time champion right now. Let's compare you to other one-time champions. And that's where I thought of the conversation about Jalen Brunson and like, who would you rather have? Who would you rather be the guy leading your team to a championship? And to me, it would be Jalen Brunson by far. Like the way the Knicks won this title, to me, was fascinating. It was fun to watch. It was cool. And I like it. And you're right. When you look at the way the Thunder play and the way that they won their title last year, there's like an element of it's just not my vibe. And I don't want to like absolutely crap on Thunder fans and all of that, but it's just I'd rather go with the Knicks than the Thunder in this conversation.
Absolutely. And look, I wouldn't be saying this. I wouldn't be saying this about the Spurs. I just wouldn't. If you were saying, would you rather have Wembanyama or Jalen Brunson? I'd probably be picking Wembanyama because I think he's the better basketball player. I think he's got, potential face of the league, all that kind of stuff. Like it's the fact that all of this stuff around SGA, Chet Holmgren, the rest of the Thunder, like not all of the Thunder, like obviously like Alex Caruso is not a part of that. And like there are guys on so it's not the entire team, but it's like the main guys on their team. It's the faces of their team. Like
you're just calling out the three guys in the AT&T commercial where they show up all dressed the same. That's who you're calling up. I know what you're doing.
The faces of the team.
Hey, we're all dressed the same. That's my fit. You have my fit. What? It's my fit. Like, come on, guys. Like, what?
I mean,
what are
I like the three guys that are walking on the mountain. That's that's
the Knicks.
That's my team. I like the guys decked out in Patagonia on the mountain.
Raj chimes in, and Raj is wrong because Bleck and Abdalla are about ethical hoops.
Yeah, we're not
He's
flopping
chiming in
Chicago.
saying that if SGA was playing for the Bulls, we would be flopping around with him. No, thank you, sir.
Just like
No.
Thunder fans,
Absolutely
you
not.
guys would be fist pumping
No.
win after win.
Nope.
You'd be. They're really fouls. I swear. See, there really is. Look, they're fouls. You'd love it. You'd love it.
No. Now, if Caleb did it, all right, maybe we would change our opinion.
Caleb doesn't
maybe
flop.
If Caleb did, but
Caleb's
Caleb,
tough, man.
That's an ethical quarterback right there.
Caleb doesn't flop.
Avoiding sacks, Raj. That's what he's
Yeah.
about. He's avoiding sacks.
Not
That's
only
an
do I think you guys would
quarterback.
support it, I bet you would get pumped when he got refs on calls to get like it'd make you even happier.
No.
If it was helping the
No.
Bulls, I bet it would. I bet it would. And
No,
I bet it's
I don't
everybody
think so.
listening, your team too. You'd be just like Thunder fans if he was helping your team win. All of you would.
No.
Thunder
Don't
fans
lie,
take it
any of
personally,
you.
though. They get very upset when you
They
point
always
out
take
how
it personally.
disliked their
Come on
team
now.
is.
They're so
Yeah.
mad about it, man. They're so mad about it. But I
Before-
mean, we did have Derrick Rose who fell. But Derrick Rose is going to the basket all the time.
He also ripped the rim off. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Derrick Rose was the guy.
Before we go, final minute of the show. Do you have any thoughts on Michael Myers possibly leaking that an Austin Powers 4 could be in the works?
I mean, the jokes weren't funny when they did it the second time
Dude,
they were kind of funny.
Goldmember was 20 years ago.
I know. The third time the jokes weren't funny. The second time they were kind of funny again. The third time they were not funny.
I can't see who has a thirst
I
for
don't know.
another Austin Powers movie.
The first time, it was one of the funniest movies I'd ever seen.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
also
No
like
doubt.
12.
No doubt. Yeah. Yes. When the scene when the cart is stuck in the hallway.
Yeah.
That's an all-time gag.
That's comedy.
That's
I
great.
think we're the
but,
target.
apparently,
it's elder millennials.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So I'm going to pass on Austin Powers 4. Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show is coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.